Talking with Topher is sponsored by slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com, New Hampshire Vape Gallery, and naturalbossnh.com. More on that later. Let's get into episode 107. Talking with Topher. Talking with Topher. Talking with Topher. What is happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back. It's Monday, April 18th, 2022. But for you, it's Thursday, April 21st. So happy Thursday to all of you out there. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope the weather's nice. I have got so much that I need to pack into this week's episode. There's just so much going on, and I want to get into all of it. I kind of want to touch base on a few things, but I got some vaping updates. I got somebody that I knew that was gunned down by the cops that I really want to get into later in this episode. And of course, I had a very stressful week, and to top it all off, today, according to my calendar that will not stop giving me reminders, it's Ma's birthday. That's right. As of right now, it's Ma's birthday. She would have been 95 today, and I feel like that just needs to be out there because my phone won't stop telling me about it. But before I get into anything else today, let me start off by saying thank you. Thank you to all my subscribers out there. You mean the world to me. I cannot say this enough. I greatly appreciate all of you for everything you do, sharing, rating, reviewing, all of it. Keep it up. You're really helping the podcast grow, and you're keeping me coming back here week after week. If you are new to the podcast, stopping by, listening, checking it out, subscribe, all right? So one thing I'm asking everybody to do, it's the most important thing you can do. So it's free for you, all right? Costs you nothing. And of course, if you're enjoying the videos, hit the like button, all right? I put a lot of work into these videos, and I do appreciate all of the thumbs up. Of course, share, rate, review, and make friends in the comments. If you want to follow me, I'm on social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook. I'm on there every week, almost all week, trying to give you some extra content throughout the week, all right? So again, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. And that's right, I have an email. Talking with Topher's official email is talkinwithtopher@gmail.com, where you can get more involved with the podcast. All you got to do is send in your email. You can even send in a 60-second short video about something you want to talk about, or maybe you just want to send a message. I am down for anything. Any interaction with any of you out there is a positive thing for me. So if you want to get more involved with the podcast, you want an opportunity to get some free Slowdown merch, you got to send in your stories, videos, whatever you want to do, and send them all over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. Yes. All right, that's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And I am, well, now with all of that out of the way, let's get into today's episode. It is, well, it's a beautiful day outside. Let's start off with the week. You know what I'm saying? The week was brutal last week. I think everybody kind of got a gist that I was under the weather. I had recording issues last Monday. That started off my week. Then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I was battling allergies and mucus and taking medicine. And at one point, there was barely any medicine on the shelf, so you had to kind of grab what you wanted. Ended up grabbing some PM stuff. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I was just really messed up on PM. What was it? Alka-Seltzer. It was like the Alka-Seltzer cold and flu because we had some sinus stuff too, but most of it was all PM, so it really blasted you. So that threw me off, and I was just kind of pushing through everything. So I appreciate everybody who enjoyed episode 106. I do have to say I was hanging on by a thread that day. So it was really nice to hear good things about the episode, considering the fact that, like, I was not in the right state of mind. My energy was nowhere close to where I wanted it to be. And of course, I had already recorded that episode on Monday, and the audio did not work. But I'm checking it right now. I've done 3 checks. I've got this Rode caster here. That thing's recording audio. This thing's recording audio. I've got all the audio recorded. So if anything goes wrong this time, I'll even put it up without a video. I'm just like, I've gotten to the point now where I understand what I did wrong. And I think that was one of my favorite parts about that is that I actually realized what I did wrong. I figured out how to correct it. And now it's not even a worry. And that was probably one of the best things that happened to me last week. Even though it sounds horrible, I learned from it. I didn't do what Chris always does and freak the fuck out. I was upset. But on Wednesday, I re-recorded. I was on so much it's not cough medicine. It's just medicine for allergies, mucus, that shit. I always call it cough medicine, but I was not my best. And I greatly appreciate everybody out there that enjoyed the episode. So thank you for that. But yeah, so I'm correcting my issues. I didn't freak out that much. And then, I'm going through the motions. I get everything set up for Thursday. I got a whole bunch of stuff I need to get done. I'm having a part on my car fixed. I'm trying to get to work. There was a few other things in between there in the morning that I had to get done. And then, of course, we get to the end of the week, Saturday. And all I wanted to do was pay some bills. It was the craziest day. Both places were having trouble taking my payments. I actually had my money refunded to me at one point. And, when you are an alcoholic, you have OCD, you have ADHD, all of these things. And yes, I've taken medication for them in the past. I don't take medication for them now, and I'm in a much better place than I've ever been. But you still want control of everything, right? Alcoholics really want control over everything, even though you don't even realize that drinking and that helps you lose control, but you're still trying to control things while you're losing that control. So I am still in that state of mind. I still have all my little tics, and I gotta control everything. So I'm making payments, I'm doing things, and then 2 days later, I get a refund, and I'm like, "What's this?" I call my bank. They're like, "Yeah, payment changed," and I go, "Well, it didn't say it here," and they're like, "Yeah, but it changed," and I go, "Okay, what do we do now? Because this was due on this date, and now we're past that date, and I'm freaking out. I am absolutely freaking out. I'm telling this story a lot smoother than my actions were on Saturday. My actions Saturday were very angry, loud. I was definitely screaming at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And then this was a compile. It was a pile up of 2 different things that needed to get done Saturday morning. Needed to, and I couldn't get them done. And you, as the alcoholic, you're basically a control freak, is what I look at. I'm a control freak, and I need to learn to let go of that. And that I'm finding still very difficult, even today, letting go of control and accepting the things I can't control. It's very tough for me. So they were working with me as much as they could, but I told the bank, I was like, "Look, I go onto the website and it doesn't tell me what I need to pay. It's just telling me what I've paid." So I got the paperwork, yes. But the problem with the paperwork is that it's paperwork. I get it in, I read it, I go, "Okay, everything's changing. The computer should tell me when that changes, right? You should be able to log in. It goes, hey, this is your payment for this month. Pay it. And I usually do. No problem, right? That's what we all try to do. But when I go on, it's a blank page. And then you go into like payment history. And it's like, you've paid. And I was like, well, you know what? I don't know what I'm supposed to pay. I forgot about the paperwork. I forgot about the increase. Life took over. I'm also sick and not feeling myself. So I didn't think. I just paid. Well, money got returned. I think I already said that. But money got returned, and then I get a hold of them, and they're looking into it, and they go over all this with me, and they're like, you know what? We see that you're having an IT issue. We see that you did pay on time, just the incorrect amount. Don't worry. This has never happened before. We will take care of all of this, and we have to have IT look at the website to see if there's a problem with it, and maybe we can fix this so that whenever you log on, you will see what you are supposed to be paying this month. And I go, that would be great, right? So, I mean, there's yelling, screaming, upset, but that's also because I was dealing with my new internet company. And of course, I've already told you about how they broke the wire. Guy got upset because I had him put booties on before he comes in my house. And then I'm trying to pay them. And no matter what turn I take, I can't get in. Now, I got on the phone with them. Lady says, hey, shut off your ad blocker. Of course, I don't want to shut off the ad blocker. That makes me upset. But I do it. Still doesn't let me. Then she sends me to the automated pay section. And I go, okay. So I go through it. Then I get to the 3 digits on the back of the card. And I type it in. Hit the pound key. It says, no, I didn't get that. I was like, what? Do it again. Okay. No. What? Do it one more time. It says, no, have a nice day. Hung up on me. So I called back, and I was very angry at that point. And I was like, hey, look, I'm trying, and it just hung up on me. And she's like, what? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try this when I get to work. Because when I get to work, the computer, we use Internet Explorer. There's nothing special. We don't add any bells or whistles to the computer like I do with my computer at home, using Chrome and having all these other ad blockers and with the VPNs, and I've got all kinds of stuff going on the computer, right? So I was like, well, I'll do it at work where the computer's got nothing going on. You know, you just click on the Internet Explorer, go in, and there you go. So I did that, and I got further. I was actually at the pay window. I got to put in my information, and as soon as I went to hit pay, it told me my session had timed out. So I was like, oh, okay, here we go again. You know, just getting angry. So what I do is I call and I talk to the lady, and I'm like, look, just did it again. It's telling me this. No way. Yeah, it is. Can you do it with me on the phone? Sure. Here we go. This is everything that's happening. I'm talking her right through it. She goes, yep. And I go, okay, I'm going to hit pay. And she goes, okay. And I go to hit pay. And sure as shit, nothing. Well, no, I think this was Saturday, right? It was all on Saturday. I apologize for saying Thursday. But so she goes, oh, that's weird. And I go, she's like, can you take a picture of that and send it to me? I'll give you my email. I go, I got customers coming in. Okay, thank you. Bye. Right? So it just timed out again. So I couldn't pay again. She's like, I am going to have to call IT. We have an IT problem. I'm like, wait a minute. My bank has an IT problem. You have an IT problem. I'm like, what is happening today? So obviously, all of these things are making me extremely upset because I'm just trying to get stuff done and I can't. Now, besides losing the audio, getting sick, and now trying to make payments and I can't, in between all of that, I was trying to fix a few things around the house. Okay, so I got a power plug for a camera that I have outside because I'm sick of recharging the batteries. The power plug would not fit into my outlet outside because my outlet outside is in a box and the box is a specific size and the plug had to go a specific way and then it wouldn't plug in. So I had to return that and order a different one that hopefully will fit. My wife's phone busted. We had to get that fixed. She got hers in, and it seems to be doing okay. I got mine in. I had to send mine back because there's a rattle in the Google Pixel 6 that if you shake the phone slightly, it's just part of their lens. Well, it would have been nice if someone had told me that 6 months ago. But anyways, so that was kind of frustrating. So I got a replacement phone and then just shipped the phone back. And now sometimes when I record a video on that on my phone, I get like this staticky thing. And I was like, oh, great. Did I just send back a phone I actually needed? I don't know. So we'll wait for that to figure itself out. And then, so I'm just in the middle of a whole bunch of little things, and something keeps stopping me from finishing what I'm doing. You know, I replace all the pulleys on my car. Now one of the pulleys is squeaking, and it's brand new. So the company's like, we don't have any left. Here's your money back. I'm like, oh my God. So all of this stuff is compiling, right? It's just piling. And then Saturday's when I lost it. So now I get off the phone with the internet company. And she's like, I send her the email. I'm supposed to be hearing from them today. We will see what happens. But I'm losing it. I lost it in the morning. I'm kind of losing it at work. I'm getting frustrated and angry. And then one of my orders shows up. And I'm like, oh, thank God the order showed up. We need this order, right? I go to process the order. The order is all screwed up. I mean, like 12 bottles. And I don't know if anybody else out there orders juice or anything else, but holy crap, when your order comes in all messed up, 12 bottles is a lot of bottles. Like, that you didn't even order or is incorrect. It's quite a issue. And I'm not saying that the company's not taking care of it. I'm not saying that it's shame on them. I'm just saying that another thing stopping me from doing my job, right? So now I got to figure out what's wrong with the order. I got to call the rep. I got to take care of all this stuff. And then I have to process what I actually can out of the order that was actually mine. So that was frustrating. It was an extremely busy day. I'm on this cough medicine. I'm frustrated that I'm trying to get X, Y, and Z done. Nothing's getting done. Orders screwed up. I'm not finding much time. So everything is just so stressful. So stressful. And then I get through everything, right? I get the orders processed. The day is going super well. We're killing it in the store, making sales. And then, I'm starting by 6:00. I'm really starting to feel like, all right, I've got a hold of the reins. I've got this right now. And just around 6:30, 7:00, when I was like, okay, it's time to clean up the store. It's time to get out of here. Somebody that knows me very well comes into the store, and he sees me, and and mind you, I had just taken a 5-minute break. I'm not gonna lie about this. It's not a big deal, but I came in. There was absolutely nobody. He shows up. He sees me. And he goes, oh, hey, you look like you need a break. He didn't even, all I think I said was, hey, what's happening? It was very, very quick. And he was just like, you need a break. And I was like, I just had a break. He goes, you need a break, dude. And I was like, really? And he's like, I was like, all right, fine. I've been hustling and bustling all day. And I was like, you know what? He's like, I can see there's something wrong with you. So why don't you take 5 and I'll give you a moment to vent. So he gave me a moment to vent. And I walked back into that store so happy. It was like, and what I'm getting at is I feel like we all need somebody to talk to, okay? And I know that people to talk to are not always our friends and family are going to be the best people to talk to. But he's also somebody who we only see each other in passing every now and then, which is fine. But it was nice to be able to unleash all of that, because it was like a weight off my shoulder. And I was like, wow, thank you so much for that. I really needed it. And then we just, he was like, yeah, you let me. So I figured I saw it all over your face. And I was like, wow, really? He's like, yeah, dude, you look like you were about to kill somebody. And I'm like, no, I wasn't going to. I wanted to, yes. But so couldn't take care of anything until this morning. And I will say that the bank has now already fixed everything that was wrong. I don't know about the IT issues, but everything else is good. And I'm very happy. And then we'll find out what happens with the internet later. But that was my stressful week. And, things like that, they bring people down, and they bring people down fast. And, I battled through it. I also, it's not going to help, right? No matter what you do, like, it's just not going to help you to, you know, I feel like we always go to the point where we're like, oh, we want to not think about it, kind of push the pain away. And it's like, none of that ever helps. But you know what did help? Being able to talk. And, I know some people that are having trouble right now with things that are going on in their life, or things that have happened in their life that they're still hanging on to. I'm just going to tell you right now, go see somebody and talk to them, because talking to your friends and family is not going to be the same. All right. It's not the same. You need to go talk to a professional. I talked to a therapist for years. All the people that my parents brought me to, I hated, right? Hated them. They worked for my parents, not me. The people that I had to go see when court was happening, I didn't care for them either, but some of them got through. But when I actually took the initiative and found my own therapist and actually wanted to put in the work, and that's the key word right there, is wanted. Because the person has to be wanting and willing to do this. But if you've had something traumatic happen in your life, talking to the people that are always in your life are not going to be the most helpful. So I always recommend finding somebody and going and talking to them. And yes, I understand, well, what do I do if I get in there and I don't like them? You find someone else. Just like if you don't like your doctor, you find another one. They are being picked by you. Yes, you are limited sometimes by your insurance on who you can pick, but you're still picking them. All right. And I think that's the most important part, is that you're picking these people. You can do BetterHelp. You don't even have to see them. But again, you need to talk to somebody that's not friends and family. You need to have an outsider look in and give you a completely and absolutely honest and different perspective on what you're dealing with, so that you can actually deal with it. So I think that's very important out of all of this. Yes, I know I spoke to somebody that I do know, but I've been in and out of therapy and dealt with a therapist on my own for many years. I think I was with him for 5 or 6. So that's what's been going on all week. As you can see, I'm in a much, much better mood now. Just I'm still taking some mucus stuff and like that, but I got the right shit this time. So it actually like wakes you up. It's doing its job, but it's not meant to put me to sleep, which is amazing. And I'm almost out of this. I haven't been able to go to jujitsu. I didn't go Wednesday, I didn't go Thursday, and I didn't go today. But I will tell you this right now. I will see you all on Wednesday, and I am so pumped. I'll be back on Thursday at Rick's, and I'm hoping after today, I won't have to take any more of these stupid medicine pills, and I'll be able to get back to my normal self. And I do think that a lot of this was brought on because I raked on Sunday, and raking, allergies, dirt, and all of it. Yeah, unless I was going to torture myself and wear a mask outside while I was raking, there was no avoiding this, right? I breathe in all the pollen, all the dirt, all the debris that I'm raking up, the hay, that was buried in my grass. I had to get all that up, and then you're bagging it. It was inevitable. I think every year this happens, right? Every year coming out of summer and going into fall and winter, it happens again. But what I've noticed is that as I get older, it just seems to really mess with me more and more. So I am actually on the plan of now. I'm gonna go get an what is it? I think it's an allergy panel, and I want to get that done to see everything that I'm actually allergic to. And so that's gonna be my next step, is figuring out all my allergies. I don't know if it's better, the same, if you do one of the like through the mail. I don't know. I'm on the assumption that if I have the doctor pull my blood, I have the doctor do all the shit, or a nurse or whatever, and then they're the ones looking at my results. I feel like that's an overall better product, right? I understand you can do all of this stuff through the mail now. I'm not really worried about what they're going to do with my spit or my blood. I already did Ancestry, so they've already got my spit out there, but so does every police department. They look up my name. I have a record. I have thumbprints. I have DNA. I have it all. So it's already there. What I'm saying is is the test that you mail in as accurate as going to the lab? I just don't think it is. So I think I'm going to end up talking to my doctor about this and a few other things that I got going on, and get an allergy panel done, and just see what I'm actually allergic to. See if there's actually any chance of me being able to subside some of these effects that I get from. Is that the word? You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I just can't say it, right? So, yeah, I'm thinking about that, and I want to let everybody know, right? I said I was going to do it, so all right. 5-day water fast is coming up. I am planning on starting this May 3rd to May 7th. All right, so that's going to be the 5-day water fast. So May 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. All right. I'm super pumped about it, as I always am. I love it. It's great discipline. It's a great way to reset your gut. The discipline is the most for me. Like I said, I'm an alcoholic. I'm a control freak. I got ADD. I got OCD, and I have anal retentiveness, and I'm just a mess all the time. But if I don't keep myself in check, if I don't discipline myself regularly, whether it's jujitsu, not eating, exercising, whatever, doing the podcast, if I'm not being disciplined in what I'm doing, then everything falls apart. So, not eating for 5 days is a great way to discipline yourself. And I'm not saying I'm disciplining myself. You are bad. No, what I'm saying is that I don't eat for 5 days because it gives me great discipline and shows me I don't have to drink. I don't have to do this. I don't even have to freak out all the time, but I still do. We're working on it. I'm a work in progress every single fucking day of my life. Every second that goes by, right? My wife mentioned the other day, real quick story, but I changed out the trash bag, right? And put in a new trash bag. And she was going to put out the other trash bag, but she said that she didn't want to she put her cereal, the last of her cereal bowl, into the trash bag, and my dog started licking it. And I'm like, why would you do that when the trash barrel is empty with a new bag in it, and you could put the cereal in there where the dog couldn't eat it? And she goes, you would have yelled at me. And I was like, oh shit. And I had to tell her, you're right. You're absolutely right. I would have. You are not wrong. But what you are wrong about is that I've been working on this. And so now, when I empty the trash and put in a new bag, I literally have to take something that can't just be taken out of the trash bag. So whether it's a wet, dirty rag, or maybe some loose material, or maybe I swept the floor, I don't know, something that, or the coffee grinds, right? Something like that. I will literally, and I have to fight myself, and I just boom, right into the new trash bag, because my brain doesn't want that trash bag to get used. But guess what, brain? It's a fucking trash bag, right? It's a trash bag. So I've been working on that, but she doesn't know I'm working on that. She doesn't know that every time I change out that trash can, I have to go through this so that when the trash bag gets used, I told you, it's crazy. It's like I'm a psychopath. I have to put something in that trash bag that cannot be taken out. So therefore, now we can use the trash bag. And she's like, I just didn't want to dump it in there. You would be upset. It's a brand new bag. And then it's going to stink like rotten milk. It's like, it's a trash bag. Of course it's supposed to do those things. But she's right. I would have been upset. That bag's going outside. Why don't you put it in there and then bring it outside so we don't have to deal with that? This is brand new. Why would you put this in here? This is brand new. It's in the house. Now every time I open the lid, I'm going to smell it. Well, it's a trash can, asshole. How long you got the lid open for? So everything is a work in progress. Everything is about disciplining and changing the mind every day for me. So this is one of my biggest tools out of my toolbox. I've got 3 giant tools that keep me from becoming Chris. I like Christopher. He's a nice guy. He's understanding. He likes to listen. He likes to have conversations. I call him Topher every now and then, right? Topher, talking with Topher. This is the person I like being. This is the person I never even thought existed, but I always wished did. Chris is who I want dead. I don't like him, but he comes back every now and then. He's angry. He's irritable. He just wants to fucking throw everything down the toilet. He doesn't care about anyone except for himself, and he's just a drunk asshole. And I'm glad he's almost completely out of my life. But she's still dealing with Chris on a regular basis in her mind, because I've traumatized her, and that makes me sad. So every time I get a little bit further away from him, it betters everybody's life. So that is why fasting is so important to me. So if you want to join me on this 5-day water fast this year, and there's going to be 2 of them. I got this one in May. I got another one in November. But if you want to join me on this one, May 3rd to May 7th, that's right. So as of midnight, May 2nd, turning into the 3rd, I stop eating. That's it. I'm sleeping. I'm not eating. I wake up. There's no food. I drink a gallon of water at least every day. I spread it out throughout the entire day. I always take my pills. I know. Shouldn't take them on an empty stomach, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter to me. Vitamin D, all these things. I can't take it all this time and then skip it for an entire week. It sends my body through a weird shock. So I keep taking all that stuff. I do drink black coffee only, nothing added to it. And I smoke pot all week. How do I not eat? I'm telling you, it's all in your brain. You can do it. I don't know if you have kids or if your cupboards are full of all kinds of wonderful things that you just can't stay away from. Making food for kids is probably difficult. All I have to do is feed my dogs. I don't eat dog food. And I don't really eat with my wife those 5 days, except for Wednesday. Wednesday is the only day that I would normally be eating. But you know what? My wife understands what I'm doing. She doesn't do it herself. But when she goes to eat, she goes out. She actually goes out, gets something to eat, eats it, and then comes back. And I don't even see her eat. So even though she won't join me on this journey, and I am hoping one day she does. So if you hear this, I'm waiting. But she won't. She doesn't watch or listen to almost anything that I do today, which is fine. It's fine. I can accept that, you know. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice that she does that for me. She doesn't have to. I tell her every time. I'm like, you can come home. You can eat it. You can eat it right next to me. I don't give a shit. Like, I work, and there's a restaurant right there. So all I smell is food all day. So the whole week, all I'll be doing is smelling food. That's my determination to put my body through this, to put my mind through the struggle, so that when I get out on the other side, food is super exciting and I feel great. And I will be keeping track of my weight. I will post it for the 5 days. I will be announcing all 5 days how everything's going. And if you can only do a couple days, then only do a couple days. But let me know when you're joining. If you can do all 5 days, fantastic. I think that's amazing. I've never done more than 5 days. 5 days is my max. After this fast, this will solidify me doing this for 5 years, which is pretty cool. So that means I've done 10. 10 in total. Fucking pretty cool, man. I'm excited. This is a giant notch for me. I mean, I'm coming up on 5.5 years. Actually, 5.5 years already passed of no alcohol. So that's pretty cool. So lots of milestones are happening again. You know, the podcast is 3 years old now. Very exciting time. There's more of you out there, so I'm just going to keep doing what I do. If you want to join me, this is when I'm doing it. I will keep announcing this every episode so that you all can remember. And if you missed it and you want to join in, fantastic. Like I said, you want to do 5 days, join me for 5 days. You want to do 4, 3, 2, 1. Even 1 is good. All right? You can only do 1. You only do 1. But let me know you did 1. All right? All right? So I just want everybody to join me. I want you to all get an understanding of why I do this to myself twice a year. And I look forward to all the messages, all the comments, and the emails of everybody joining in on this first fasting, this first water fast of the year. I hope I get a little bit more than the 1 to 2 people that have been joining me. And I appreciate both of you as well. If you want to join again, let's do it. I'm game. I love working together with people, and I just think this is a great way to get a community started. Okay, I want to better my health. I want to better my mind, and I want to better my body. And I believe that everything that I'm trying to do today is doing that. It's not a quick process. It's actually quite slow. So, water fast, May 3rd to May 7th, okay? Slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. Not sure how to spell it? It's right here at the bottom of the screen, or you can click the link in the description below the video. I love this website. They've got everything that you're looking for. Summer clothes, winter clothes, spring clothes, fall clothes. They've got it all. They got gloves for cleaning up the yard all year round. They got new skateboards. I love their winter jacket. Even though winter's gone, I'm going to need something for next year, so I'm thinking about getting one. You should too. They got great socks for all year round. Hats, leggings, kids' shirts, men's shirts, women's shirts, beach towels. What? They got so many different things to choose from. Board shorts, sweatshirts, sweatpants. It's just amazing. Their selection is ginormous. All their products are high quality at a great price. And you can only get this stuff here at slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. You're not sure how to spell that? It's right here at the bottom of the screen. Or click the link in the description below the video. New Hampshire Vape Gallery is located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Rings, where we're open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. And feel free to give us a call, 603-814-4171. I don't know what else to tell you, but we've got it all. That's right. New Hampshire Vape Gallery's got everything you're looking for, and we've always got new stuff coming in, like our brand new company that we are getting involved in, TwT. That's right, TwT. Absolutely amazing cartridges. Yes. Delta 8, THCO, THCP, HHC, all cartridges available through this company, and they're brand new. We're bringing them in. I am so excited about all of these brand new products, and you're only going to be able to get them here at New Hampshire Vape Gallery, located at 180 Lafayette Road, Seabrook, New Hampshire, down the street from Home Depot and next to Smoke Rings, where we are open 7 days a week from 10:30 to 8 p.m. And feel free to give us a call, 603-814-4171. And as always, I look forward to seeing you there. NaturalBossNH.com. That's NaturalBossNH.com. I love this website. They've got all the best organic products I've ever used. You want salve to repair your skin? You need a body butter to a body balm to keep your skin repaired. What about some beard oil? Make it healthier, smell good. All of these products are phenomenal, but one of my favorites is the foot and body soak. There is nothing better than melting away those stressful days, and what better way to do it than with some organic products made right here in New Hampshire. That's right. It's so nice. And you can only get this stuff at naturalbossnh.com. That's naturalbossnh.com. Buy one or all 5 of these products today. I think we're going to get into some current events because there is something I really want to talk about today. Chris Coppola was gunned down by the Derry police, and I may not have known him for the last 20 years, but I did know him. And what I have looked into, what I have found out is I want to go through a few things with you. Because I don't know all the facts, obviously. I've read a couple articles. I have gone through the Facebook, and that was very eye-opening. And a lot of people have a lot of things to say about this thing. And what I want to do is I kind of want to get as close to what we actually know to be fact. And then I want to touch on what I think. Authorities investigate what led up to police shooting of man in Derry, and this man's name was Chris Coppola. All right. He was somebody I knew, but what I do remember, great person, always enjoyable to be around. I mean, and let's be real, like, he was never violent. I didn't find him to be a violent person. Do we all have violent tendencies? Do we all have moments where we freak out? Yeah. I freaked out on a car, punched it, kicked it, smashed it. I freaked out. I got into a fight. I get into fights. I got beat up. I fired a gun off in public. I'm not that fucking person anymore, right? And I don't believe that the person that the cops shot was a dangerous person. I just don't. But here's what the authorities are saying. This is what led up to it. And like I said, I really want to kind of dig into this a little bit because this is something that really bothers me.
Well, Mike, we're still asking a lot of questions tonight, but authorities have not been forthcoming with answers, although the state's medical examiner's office has confirmed that Coppola died by a single gunshot wound to the chest. Now, police were dispatched to Driftwood Road here in Derry off of Old Coach Road shortly after 2:15 Saturday afternoon for reports of a man walking around the neighborhood with a shotgun. The Attorney General's office identified that man as 43-year-old Christopher Coppola, who also lived on Driftwood Road. The AG's office says that Coppola fired his weapon at another residence, causing damage to the property. And when Derry police officers arrived on scene, we're told 3 of them fired their weapons and Coppola was hit. However, it remains unclear which officer fired that fatal shot. News 9 has asked investigators all sorts of questions today and this weekend, including what led up to those shots being fired and if anyone else was there when all of this happened. Those questions have gone unanswered, with authorities saying more information will be made available after all of the officers involved are formally interviewed. That is expected to happen over the course of the next few weeks, although investigators do tell us there was no known connection between Coppola and the other resident who he fired his weapon at. We're live in Derry tonight. Scott Cook, WMUR News 9.
I read something else, and then I looked up the autopsy because I was expecting... I looked up the autopsy because they said that there was an autopsy done. And I looked into this, and it's just the autopsy that shows that a gunshot killed him. Well, I mean, is that what the autopsy was for? To see why he died? I don't understand. You shot him. He died, right? I thought the autopsy was going to be more of like, well, we thought he was on drugs, so we're doing an autopsy to find out what his toxinalysis was. And I'm like, and that's not what it is. I read the whole thing. There's nothing in there about his toxicology. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry. But yeah, so basically he died from a gunshot wound to the chest. Well, yes, but my thing is that the article that I was reading was that he, there was some people arguing, right? There was some people arguing, and this is where all my theories come into play, and where I have no actual facts, and I don't know anything, and I'm completely talking in hypotheticals and theory, right? But I think this needs to be talked about, period. No, not because this is a white man. No, and if it was somebody that I knew, it doesn't matter what color you are, okay? This is a police shooting that should not be happening to anybody as far as I'm concerned. So The article I read, and I don't have the link to that one. I'm sorry, I lost it. I've only got the links to these, but maybe these links will bring you other places. They will be in the description below the video. But what I read is there was people arguing near or on his property. So my assumption, right, was one of three things happened. The people arguing, one of them had the shotgun. He comes out of the house. He tries to break them up. Somehow he disarms this person, right? And when he disarms this person, somebody else is already called in. The arguing, the person with the gun in their hand, a shot was fired. So now the cops show up. And he's got a gun in his hand. And there's people maybe arguing still, or maybe they're all standing there. Maybe he's pointing the gun at them because now he's disarmed them and he's like, you need to stay back. I don't know, right? I'm painting a hypothetical scenario here. I could only assume that if a cop rolled up and saw a man with a gun pointed at another man with no gun, the cop's reaction would be to shoot that person. Because now he can see that there's possibility that physical harm will be brought to somebody else. The other one is he came out of his house with the shotgun, gave a warning fire. Somebody called the cops. As he's telling them to get off the property, cops roll up. They see him with a gun in his hand. Maybe they told him to put it down. Maybe he was like, I'm just trying to do this. And I don't know, but maybe a cocky cop fucking fired too early. And that popped everything off. That could be a possibility. Like, if he came out of the house with the gun in his hand, he would have to still be pointing at somebody in order to have the cop shoot him. I can't believe that you would be able to shoot somebody for just having a gun in their hand. Almost everybody is armed around here. Almost everybody. And they got rid of our concealed carry license around this area. New Hampshire doesn't have it anymore. So you can literally carry concealed without a license today. So almost anybody could be carrying a gun. That's no reason to shoot somebody because they have a gun. But if you give off a warning shot and you're telling them, get off my property, and you're just waving the gun at them, but the cops show up to a hot spot, he's got a gun in his hand, it's pointed at somebody who doesn't have a gun in their hand, they can look at that as a hostile situation. He comes out of the house with the gun and then he's just banging the air and then he's just holding the gun and just yelling at these people. And the gun's not pointed at anybody and a cop just pops off too early and shit goes sideways. So it's so tough to know because there's no footage. So here's where I started thinking about this whole thing. It's like, yeah, okay, so I know I'm making this all up, right? And we have no idea. But if the cops get called in to a hotspot, right? Guns fired, there's an active shooter, whatever. Shouldn't it almost be written law now to put your cameras on, right? Put the cameras on. This happens. You get called in. Shouldn't it be automatic at this point? Shouldn't they automatically? I don't care if there's a limited amount of cameras, right? And you got the call and you're like, well, this is Bill's camera. Well, Bill doesn't get a camera because he's not leaving. You put on the camera, Fred. you put on that camera because you're going to an active shooting. Like, I don't care if there was limited amounts. I feel like if you were coming into this hotspot, and yes, all right, some of them are already out there driving around, blah, blah, blah. Shouldn't they, if they're already active, shouldn't they have their cameras on them? And as soon as you get a call like that and you're like, I'm going, like, they're like, car 63, get over here. We see that you're this close. Go, you go. Okay. Everything should be recording. Everything should be recording from the moment you get off that call to the moment that you get to that scene, from the moment that that scene is going down, all the way up until the arrest or whatever, all the way up until everybody is leaving. We should have footage today of all of it. There was something in 2019. I had it. I don't remember what I did with it. All right, so March 21st, 2021, Londonderry Police get Town Council to go ahead for body cameras. March 10th, 2021, more New Hampshire police will soon wear body cameras. So, annual report fiscal finance ending year June 30th, 2021, they were pleased to present the annual report for the executive department. The town continued to damn it, I lost it. So, all right. So basically what I'm getting at here is there was a budget starting in 2021. They talked about this after what? Floyd's death, right? We all said this. If it wasn't for the girl recording that actual thing happening and posting it for all of us to see, we would have never known. It would have just been another cop killing a black man. Now that we saw that, we're like, wow, we need more, right? We need more cameras. We need them. So they were doing the same thing here in New Hampshire. So where are the fucking cameras? Where are they? Well, I'll tell you where they were not. They were not on any police officer that showed up. Not one. So even though we heard there was an argument that he might have been breaking up, that he came out of his house with the gun, that he's holding the gun, we're just getting hearsay from people that were there. And I get it. You saw shit. Cool. Nothing tells the story like a camera. Actually capturing the footage. That's what tells the true story, because none of us can recall what we just did 30 minutes ago. 100%. You can't do it 100%. Our minds make shit up. Our minds tell us that we saw this, but you didn't. Our memories are not this perfect thing that can recall. And especially when something like that is happening, nobody is collecting the data properly. And unfortunately, there is a man that is no longer here to speak for himself, to let us know why he was holding that shotgun, what state of mind he was in when he was holding it. At the end of the day, he was holding the gun. Somebody called in, shots fired, cops showed up. They had no cameras on them. The article specifically said, we are hoping that the audio and or video cameras in the cruisers were hopefully on. What do you mean, hopefully? This is what I'm saying. Why is this a hope? If the cops are being called to a scene, why are they not turning these things on automatically? You can't tell me today that they've got a limited amount of recording capacity. Does every single fucking one of these have an SD card in them? And if they do, that's pretty goddamn stupid, I think. Why would you have an SD card in these fucking things, right? That you have to take in and out, that you have to worry about maximizing, or you have to worry about maxing it out, and then it can't record anymore. I don't see that happening today. From what I know about technology, what I know about cameras and the internet and doing all of this crazy stuff we're doing today with all of this technology, I know there's a cloud. I choose not to use my cloud. Everything's on hard disk. But you can't tell me that you can't come up with a police server that cloud captures every single one of those cameras. So it's on record, right? It's recording everything. And then as soon as you shut the record button off, to the cloud. It's all been recorded to the cloud. You have no access to it. There's some other person that's in charge of all the info that comes from the cameras. And the whole thing's timestamped. So you can't just cut and splice wherever you choose. So it makes it very difficult when it's got the dates and stuff and it's all embedded into the code. So you can't manipulate it. You can make it so it's not manipulatable. And you can also make it so that we don't have to worry about memory cards. There is plenty of ways. You're going to tell me that the servers at any police station are not capable of taking on cloud data? I find that very, very hard to believe. With the budgets that they have and the money and everything else, they should be able to do these things as of right now. Right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Right fucking now they should be able to do this. And I think this is a giant issue. I like I said, I do not care what color you are. This should not be happening to any of us. We all have the right to bear arms. We all have the right to be on our property with our guns. You don't have the right to fire them off in public or in residential areas where you could accidentally hurt somebody. You don't have the right to do that. But you have the right to defend your property in New Hampshire. I don't have to leave my house if somebody comes in. I can shoot you. And I will shoot you if you come into my house when I don't want you here. If you are intruding and planning on causing me harm. In other states, you have to flee. You have to get away from the situation. That's fine too, but we don't have to here in New Hampshire. You come onto my property and I ask you to get off and you don't, I can shoot you. I can literally tell you that I will shoot you if you do not get off my property. That's fine. So what the fuck are we talking about here? We're talking about a man who supposedly was defending his property and asking hostile people to leave it. Now, I don't know if they came out of the house. I don't know if they were friends. I don't know anything. I don't know if anybody was on drugs or maybe Chris doesn't do drugs anymore. I don't know. Like I said, I do not know the person that he was that day. Or, I know the person that he was 23 years ago. And he was a great person and he was a good friend. But where were the cameras? Why is this still happening today? Why is the simple fact that cops are being allowed to do things unrecorded, period? Now, I'm not saying we need to defund them and we need to do this and that. No. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is they need to have these things. They should have them on all the time, no matter what's happening. It does not matter. Because then there's none of this hypothetical story. There's no theories of what happened and what didn't happen. There's no question. We would have no questions. And isn't that what the cops would want the most? Wouldn't they want to be able to say, no, look at the footage. This is what happened. This is why we took this action. And then everybody would be like, oh, well, okay. I can see now. I understand. I don't like it, but I can understand why this happened. But right now, none of us understand why this happened to a person that we all knew as a great person. Just, I hate to say what they've already said, but it was so true. Even I said it to a couple of my friends. He was a giant teddy bear. The guy, I mean, I guess if you were friends with him, you knew him, right? But if you looked at him from afar, he was like 285, 6'3", with a lazy eye. You know, he wasn't exactly a small person, right? So some people get very intimidated by large people. And I don't think that's right either. But it is unfortunate and true that the cops today are very petrified of everything. They're getting shot for pulling people over. They're getting shot for all kinds of shit. They're getting dragged down streets. All this stuff is happening. There is a mass shooting almost every day now. There's been 2 of them in South Carolina just in the last day. It is fucking nuts out there. So I understand all the cops being on edge everywhere in the United States. But turn on your fucking cameras. All right? Stop us from having theories and hypotheticals. Just have the proof. Every single one of you out there needs a camera recording the moment that you are called to a hotspot. Every car should have its camera turned on, should have its audio turned on, should be recording everything. That way, we don't have this anymore. These unnecessary deaths. This murder. It's a murder investigation right now. That's what it is. But you know, at the end of the day, just like I know, when I saw this 11 days ago now, that this is just another cop shooting gone bad. A man is no longer here because of it. And I was like, and this is before I knew that I knew this person. Because the names don't stick that well. And everybody was saying Coppola, and I didn't know a Coppola. I knew a Coppola. So I don't know if they're saying it wrong or if I've been saying it wrong since I was a kid. I don't know. But what I am saying is, and they're going to find the cops innocent. And we're never going to know what the fuck happened. And that is why I am bringing this up right now. I'm bringing this up because the more that we bring this up, the more that we question these things, maybe the more they will have to do what I'm asking them to do, which is just turn on your cameras. You know? And I don't think you should have an option of on or off with those cameras. Nope. I think as soon as you click, it's on. Period. Inside the police station, outside the pissing. I don't care if it's filming you while you're going to the fucking bathroom. Do not care. As far as I'm concerned, you work for us, the public, the state. You are no longer allowed to have privacy. And the other thing is, too, yeah, sure, you don't have an on and off switch, blah, 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 blah. It's recording 24/7, so now, or whatever. Too bad. You don't like the job, fucking get another one, right? That's what everybody else does. You don't like your fucking job, go get another one. You don't like being recorded 24/7 while you're on the job, then go get a different fucking job. You don't deserve to be in that position in the first place. But also, there's going to be somebody that's in charge, like I said, of all that information. Well, then it's also their job to make sure none of the bathroom material gets out. That them walking around the police station or having conversations with detectives and this and everyday stupid shit should just pretty much for the most part, and I still think some of that should be looked into, because you got cops hiding stuff and turning off their cameras and turning them on, and you know what I mean. You know what I mean. That's why I say they shouldn't be allowed to have an on and off switch. All the information go to a cloud, not a card. And there should be somebody in charge of that. And hell, have them sift through everything, because then maybe we'll find the fucking bad cops too. I'm not against finding the bad cops, but I am against these motherfuckers shooting and killing people because he was holding a gun. And we don't know the story. And now we never will. And he's dead. And this isn't going to go anywhere. Do you think I'm doing this because I think it's going to go somewhere? No, I'm doing this because I know this is going nowhere, as usual. And we need to make our voices heard for Chris Coppola, for all these people that have been done wrong by the police. And we know they've been done wrong. And yet the cops get away with this shit every single fucking time. And I'm tired of it. Now, we can't defund them because we need them. But maybe this will make them think twice about doing something completely wrong or incorrectly in the first place. So I'm done with that. It really, really hit home. It was something I never thought I would ever deal with on a personal basis. You see these things, you hear about them, but my God, you never think about it hitting your own backyard. And you know what? We should think about this happening to anybody and everybody at any time. But this has got to stop. We got to get them in check, and we have to make them, got to hold them accountable for not recording. I think it should be something that they get in trouble for when they don't record, when they don't have their cameras. I think it should. I think they should be docked something. But yeah, so all right, there is some stuff going on in the vaping world right now. Synthetic nicotine was added in, and I'm not sure if you can read this or not. I'm trying my best here, but unfortunately, this email did not get sent to me the way I wanted it to. So why don't I just do this? Okay. Let's just do it this way. The vaping world is seeing a new federal synthetic nicotine law that took effect on the 15th of March. All right, so they're trying to ban it. They're trying to get their tax money for it, which is fine. I don't give a shit. Take your tax money, people. All right? I've said this 1,000 times. Take your money. We just want to be able to vape instead of smoke cigarettes. But you want to keep saying that it's for the kids, and we all know you're full of shit at this point. But at the end of the day, if their main goal is to get rid of anything smokable besides marijuana, so that the younger generation doesn't get hooked on nicotine, I can get behind that. I'm not, like I said, this is the worst thing I've ever tried to get away from. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get vaping out of my life 100% by the end of this year, because I am so attached to it. But I'm trying my best. But nicotine is a very difficult product to get away from. It's highly addictive, and alcohol was much easier. But what these guys are doing is they've summarized the law in a brief new law which takes effect today, April 14th, 2022. It's going to redefine tobacco product, include products containing synthetic nicotine of any form of nicotine that is not derived from tobacco. So basically, they were like, hey, they made synthetic nicotine. We need to add this in. So they did it through, I believe it was called the Omnibus Spending Bill. So the President Biden signed into law the federal Omnibus Spending Bill. I believe this is also part of the Build America Back again, or fucking Build Back America Better, or something like that. All of these are tied together, and this is why I get kind of mad about these laws and this shit that they do, is because you said this was to build back America. This is supposed to be infrastructure, bridges, roads, lights, cameras on intersections, shit like that. What does that have to do about synthetic nicotine? Right? So they squeeze this shit in there. But basically now, and you only had, or maybe you have, let's see, immediate implications of synthetic as of today. All recreational nicotine products containing synthetic are defined as tobacco products under the FDA, such as the immediate subject to existing laws, regulations, guidance, acceptable tobacco products. Yesterday, FDA clarified that this means companies in the industry. As of April 14th, 2022, manufacturers, distributors, importers, and retailers of tobacco products containing non-tobacco nicotine, NTN, that is nicotine not made derived from tobacco, such as synthetic nicotine, must ensure compliance with the acceptable requirements under the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act, the FD&C Act, resulting in this law, such as not selling these products to anybody under the age of 21, not marketing these products for the risk of tobacco, and not distributing free samples of these products. Did you know, just for fun, that you're not allowed to give anything away for free? Nothing. So, like, when you buy something and you get something for free, you didn't get it for free. They were capable of giving it to you because you made a purchase. But if you were to just walk into a store and they had something on the counter that was free, you can't just have that. Nobody's allowed to do that. That's actually illegal, which is so weird, right? But that's the world we live in. You have to spend $1, and then I can give you the free thing. But I paid $1 for it. But you didn't. You paid $1 for this, and now I gave you this. You see? So you're not allowed to give anything away, ever, especially in retail. It is a huge, huge no-no. But basically what they did is they wanted to stop everybody in their tracks from taking the synthetic nicotine e-juices and selling them on the internet again to individual households. So they had to act quickly on this to fit it into the PACT Act to stop them from being able to distribute it to households. Now, the other thing is that all these companies have to refile PMTAs. Well, I've talked about the PMTAs before, right? So, what is the PMTA? Well, you got the March 15th, the bill was signed in. In 30 days, by April 14th, the law takes effect. Then you have until May 14th to get your PMTAs in. And then after that, you're going to have 120 days for them to decide whether or not your shit is FDA approved. And then after that, they're going to have FDA enforcement. So you're talking 120 days, 30, 60, right? Plus 120. So 180 days from March 15th. We're going to go through the same thing we just went through with the PACT Act and the PMTAs, where they're going to make everybody put in the paperwork, and then they're going to deny everybody. And then they're going to say that we can't sell the product, which we all know is false because people are still paying their taxes on them. So therefore, we can still buy them as a business. Whether or not they're going to actually enforce the FDA approved on it, I think is ridiculous. I don't need the FDA to approve vape juice. Why does anybody need the FDA to approve vape juice? This is my argument. Why isn't it just a supplement? It's supplementing my nicotine. So therefore, it's a supplement product because it's not really derived from the tobacco plant anymore. So I guess it's not like real nicotine. It's synthetic nicotine now, right? So synthetic is a supplement of nicotine, right? Acting as nicotine. That's what my brain tells me. So let them deny us. They're going to. They're not going to approve. There will not be one company that gets approved and gets an FDA stamp. Not one. And if you think one company out there can pull this off, I'm sorry, but I want whatever you're taking. because there's no fucking way in hell. They didn't do it for the real nicotine. They're not going to do it for the synthetic nicotine. They're just not going to do it. So I say, screw it. Supplement, not FDA approved, not human consumable. What about those labels? Spice did it. Bath salts did it. There's many products. Go ahead. Go look at a lot of the products that you are buying at GNC. How about any supplements at Walmart? Your vitamins? How about your everyday vitamin? Your multivitamin? On it, right? You take On It stuff. You take MCT oil, Alpha Brain, and how about Keon? I'll throw a couple big names out there. Keon, look at their stuff. None of it's FDA approved, okay? None of it's FDA approved. It's all a supplement. And on a lot of the shit that you get in a smoke shop or these convenience stores that carry pipes and shit and they carry all this weird side stuff, even Kratom, not FDA approved. And most of the time it says not consumable. Why? Because if you consume it, they're not liable anymore. So let's start doing it now. Now, before they deny you at the PMTAs. Put it on your label, people. It's a supplement. You're supplementing the nicotine, right? And just say it's not for consuming. Because you're consuming at your own risk anyways. We all know that this isn't healthy. It's just healthier than cigarettes. And at the end of the day, if you can get away from cigarettes and better your life just a little bit, that's a step in the right direction. So that's why I say, screw the FDA, fuck the PMTAs, pay the taxes, and put these labels on your bottle. And let's see if we can get away from this. And if you really want to do one step more, take it out of gas stations and convenience stores and just let it be up to the vape shops. You'll have a lot less trafficking to do to find out who's selling to underage. And once that happens, nobody can come in those stores unless they're 21. So no more targeting the kids. All right. So I think this is going to be crazy again. It puts me on edge as usual. We got 180 days to see how this pans out. Actually, less than that. 177 by the time you see this, 174. So let's fight back. You know, if you can put in a petition to your politician or whatnot, but juice companies, if you're out there, if you're listening, not FDA approved. This is a supplement, and it's not for human consumption. That's simple. Let's do it. All right. We're going to end this on a little bit of a happy note. I'm going to try to lighten the mood here a little bit. I don't understand this, and maybe, like I said, my OCD, my anal retentiveness, I'm on a different playing field. I don't know. But what I do know is this is gross. Okay, so study finds how often should you wash your dog's bowl can affect your health too. I read this title and I said, what am I reading here? What am I reading? I'm like, what do you mean? So, all right, let me lay it out for you. This is what I got going on. I feed my dogs in the morning and I feed them at night. Okay? Almost like everybody else, right? I wash my dog's dishes. Now, is that weird to everybody? So they eat, and then I pick up their dishes, and I wash them. I wash down the counter after filling their dog bowls. Their food is in a, like, triple thick fucking dog food container. You know, it holds 50 pounds of food because they're monsters, and they eat like crazy. that it's completely in a different area than any of my pots and pans, or it's in its own little cubby, and there's nothing else in that cubby except for dog stuff, right? The toothbrushes are in a container, and their dog food's in a container. Their dishes get washed, dried, and then now they're reusable for later on. And then when they get used again, they get washed again, and then they rinse and repeat. Literally, rinse and repeat. So I do this every day, 7 days a week. So 14 times a week, those things are getting washed and dried and reused. I didn't know this was not a thing. I had no idea that this was not a thing. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know what's happening. But we're going to listen to this because obviously I am like almost always by myself. I don't know why. All right. Anyways, the video I wanted to show was nothing but an infomercial for 3 other products. One to clean their paws, one for fur removal, and one for fucking getting the dog scent. How about you give your dog a bath? That's going to get rid of their scent. Okay. Give them a bath every 6 months. They don't need to shower and bathe like we do. They're starting to shed. Brush them out. All right. I like the Furminator. Not advertising for them. They got a giant glove thing that I want to get that's supposed to get rid of the fur. And then I put my vacuum on, right? I got a central vac. Came with the house. I didn't do it myself. And I turn that on, and I have the hose on the floor, and I literally brush them out and drop the hair near the head. Sucks it right up. All right? That's how you get rid of your fur. That's how you fucking keep them clean and keep the dog smell out of your house. Another way to do it is after it rains and you dry them off, hey, get rid of the towel that you're using. Mine gets washed twice a week. Twice a week I have to wash the towel that I dry my dogs off with when they come into my house. All right? They did another thing for cleaning their paws. I just wipe their paws off with a towel at the front door every time they come in. So they never get into the house if it's muddy or rainy without getting their paws wiped off. They're getting wiped down. I'm not letting my dogs roam around the house still sopping wet from outside. Dry them off, people. They don't like being wet anyway. So dry them off. There'll be less wet dog smell in your house because then they'll be dry. They won't be wet. Clean off their paws. They won't be tracking dirt around. Brush them out during the seasons. Right now, the fur is coming off, right? So you want to fucking brush them out. And then in the winter, they're going to do it again because now the coat needs to get thick again. So you brush them out again. You take care of those issues, okay? That was super simple. That was so stupid, and I apologize for that. So what we're going to get into is the dog bowls, the feeding, the food, the countertops, the keeping it clean. Well, how we feed our pets and store their food and wash their dishes can give negative health consequences if not done properly for both humans and animals. Are you fucking kidding me? How is this new news? What? Would you, I don't know, cook macaroni and cheese and then just leave the fucking pot or pan that you cooked it in on the countertop without water in it? And then just be like, oh, I want mac and cheese again, and just fill that thing up with water and start cooking mac and cheese in it again without cleaning it? Because if you would do that, there's no helping you. I can't help you. That just, oh my God, that just made me sick thinking about it. But I guess this is something that people just don't do because they look at the dog food and the dishes differently than they look at their own food preparation and dishes. But we shouldn't. It's I've always thought of it exactly the same. I mean, they're slobbering all over their bowls. What are you doing? Clean them, wash them. That's what Dawn's for. It's great. There have been multiple outbreaks of illnesses among humans after exposure to E. coli and salmonella, contaminated dog food, which has been more likely in commercial and homemade raw food diets. These diets typically involve the need to prep pets' food in kitchen, according to the study published in the journal plus one. Oh, boy. This really, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't get it. But guidelines for homeowners should safely handle pet food and dishes is limited, and their effectiveness is unclear. What? But guidelines for how owners should safely... Oh. Well, I just told you. It's simple. Dawn, your dishes, when you're doing your dishes, their dishes should be treated the same. I don't think it's any fucking different. The only difference is you just got to make sure that they're completely rinsed and completely dry and there's no soap. You don't want your dogs to eat the soap. But then again, don't you rinse off your dishes and dry them so that there's no soap? Because you don't want to ingest soap either. I mean, come on. So let's see. During casual conversations among veterinary nutritionists, we realized that when it came to our pets, we all had different pet food storage and hygiene practices, says Emily Luanza, a co-author of the study and small animal veterinary nutritionist. Once we realized that the FDA recommendations were relatively unknown, even among professionals, we wanted to see what other pet owners were doing. Wait a minute. Why? Okay, I don't understand this. Why do we need the FDA for everything? They approve shit that's no good for us. They approve shit that has fucking cancerous fucking causing shit in it. And they've had to take that off the shelf, but it was FDA approved. Why do we need the FDA's fucking approval for anything? Fuck the FDA. I hate them. They're just as bad as the CDC. Fuck them too. Telling us to put fucking masks on and fucking all this. Fuck you people. None of you know what the hell you're talking about, so why do you keep telling us what the fuck to do? It bothers the hell out of me. Never mind the vaping industry, nicotine, and all of it that I got into earlier. They're just pieces of shit, and all they want is a fucking check from everybody. So I don't need the FDA's approval to tell me how to store my dog's food and how to take care of their dishes. Because why? Because it's food. So you get a food container. You got to clean out the food container every bag switch, right? Come on. And then you got to wash your dog's dishes after they're done eating. You don't let them hang around or sit on the floor. Or you got to clean them, everybody. You clean your dishes, right? You clean the dishes that you prep for dinner. Then you clean the dishes that you eat off of. You clean your forks, your knives. You dry everything, and you put it all back in the drawers, right? Am I the only one doing this? I don't think so. Do the same for your dog. Boy, this aggravates the shit out of me. And I thought this was going to be funny. I thought I was going to have a good video. No, just some more heated topher. All right, so Louisiana is on the Veterinary Advisory Board for Tailored, a pet nutrition and expert-led dog food company. Caitlin Getty, another co-author of the study in the Scientific Affairs of Veterinarian from Nom Nom Now Incorporated, a company focused on pet gut health and suitable food. Neither company funded this study, and the authors didn't report any competing interests. The study's focus is on owners handling any dog food, not the food brand themselves. And I agree with that too. It's all dog foods. It's all foods, period. All right? You can't just dump dog food on your counter and then cut up a chicken and cook it. Like, you can't do that. You know, I have a specific spot where I fill my dog's bowls, and it's nowhere near where I'm prepping my food. And then as soon as their bowls are full and they're on the floor, that counter is getting wiped down. You got to get the food off the counter. It's contamination. So I'm going to try to go through this. Let's see. Awareness versus action. The researchers found that 4.7 out of 417 surveyed dog owners were aware of the FDA's pet food handling and dish hygiene guidelines. 43% of participants stored food within 5 feet of human food. 34% washed their hands after feeding, and 33% prepared their dog food on prep surfaces intended for humans. 50 owners of 68 dog totals participated in a roughly 8-day bowl contamination experiment. Contamination. Why can't I say that today? I can say contaminate, right? So it's contamination. Experiment. The authors swabbed the bowls for bacterial populations, which are known as aerobic plain counts. Then split owners into 3 groups. Group A followed the FDA tips, which I don't even know those tips, and I don't care to know them, which included washing their hands before and after handling pet food, not using the bowl to scoop food, washing the bowl and scooping utensils. Man, this just makes sense. With soap and hot water after use. Yeah. Discarding uneaten food, designated manner. Yeah, it's called a fucking trash can. And storing dry pet food in its original bag. No, you do not have to store dry dog food in its original fucking bag. You got to put the dry dog food in a dry dog food container that's made for it. And then when it's empty, I literally wipe out the old bag, make sure it's all nice and dry in there, and then you put the new bag in. They're just trying to stop you from dumping a bag in when it's gone, dumping another bag in without cleaning it. So if they tell you to keep it in the original bag, when the original bag's empty, you'll throw it away. There is no contamination. Do you see where the disconnect is? They're making it easier for everybody. They're putting it. This makes it easier to blanket. If you don't say that, like if they said that you would use a food container like I just did and did all those things, well, now that's not a blanket thing. So they just say leave it in the original bag. You don't have to do that. You can't seal those things. It's not safe for 50 pounds of dog food to be open to the air either, assholes. Group B had to follow the FDA food handling tips for both pets and humans, which also required hand washing for at least 20 seconds with soap and warm water, scraping food, dishes, washing dishes with soap and hot 160 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 30 seconds, drying thoroughly, clean towel, Group C wasn't given any instructions. All right, so what do we get out of the participants for the following groups A and B led to significant decreases in food dish contamination compared with Group C. The study found dishes washed with hot water and dishwasher had a decrease of 1.5 units on the contamination scale compared with those washed with cold or lukewarm water. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's cleaning and sanitizing guidelines for human dishes are based on achieving a 5 log reduction in bacterial counts. The author writes, a 1.5 log reduction is equal to 90% to 99% reduction in microorganisms. A 5 log reduction means 99.999% of microorganisms have been killed. This is just fucking common sense to me. Jesus Christ. Anyways, so this shows that bringing awareness of the current recommendation is not sufficient in itself, she added, lowering contaminated risk. So, however, 20% of the people, so pet food dishes have ranked highly amongst contaminated household objects, sometimes even having bacterial loads close to those of toilets. Your dog is licking it. Its saliva is drying on it. They eat their own shit. You don't think that's all over those bowls? I mean, so, yeah. I hope you're not letting your dog eat and then stacking his bowl or their bowls back up and then, like, putting them on your plates. This is really gross. This is really, really gross. And you know what I'm learning as I get older as well? We are all really, really gross. I want to believe that most people were taught how to clean themselves, clean up after themselves, and to keep their living spaces clean. I don't know if this is true, but what you got to do is you got to clean up after yourself. You got to clean up after your dogs. And whenever you're prepping any food, you should always be washing your hands in between, especially dealing with raw meats. You'd never want to contaminate your dog food with your food, vice versa. And you never want to let your dog bowls sit out. Just wash them after they're done eating. It's so easy. It's so easy. So please, if I can get any message to anybody out there, treat your dogs like you would treat yourself. So if you yourself will not eat off of a dirty plate, don't make your dog eat out of a dirty bowl. The same goes with the water, too. I want to throw that out there. They didn't mention shit about the water. Don't let it sit. You got a little bit of water in that dish, rinse it out, wipe it out, and refill it with fresh water every day. I don't care if it's full, empty, partially full. It doesn't matter to me. Every day, you should be dumping that water, wiping that bowl, and refilling it. Stagnant water is a great place for all bugs to grow. We all know that standing water is dangerous because why? Mosquitoes grow in standing water. So you never want standing water around your house, right? Well, guess what? That water is just standing there in that dog bowl. And if they're not drinking it, it is slowly turning and getting gross and filling with bacteria, especially if you're like me and you just give them tap water. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have to give them special water, but you gotta keep the water moving because you don't want it to grow bacteria and make your dog sick. And no, just dumping it out and rinsing is not enough because a film is actually created on the inside of the bowl, and it will always produce bacteria, and it will eventually make your dogs very ill. So please clean up for your dogs. Clean their dishes, all of them. Water, food, keep their food in a good spot. Keep it fresh. And they will live a happier, longer life because of it. And you won't contaminate your food, and you will live a happier, longer life as well. Woo! Man, it has been an episode today, huh? It has been an episode. I have been so psyched up for this. I literally have rearranged everything to make this happen today. So thank you all for joining me for another episode of Talking with Topher. I greatly appreciate everybody out there. I always want to give a thank you to all the new subscribers, all the subscribers that keep me coming back week after week. I want to reach 1,000. Do you want to help me get monetized so I can actually start making some money from this thing? Well, spread the word, all right? Like the videos, share and rate, make friends in the comments. All of that stuff helps the podcast grow. It gets it out to a bigger audience. And if I can reach 1,000 people that will actually subscribe to the podcast, well, I've already got all the hours watched because of all of you out there. And I greatly appreciate that. But I need these numbers to hit 1,000. I need to get monetized. I don't want to work anywhere else except for right here anymore. It's what I want to do. This I really do love and enjoy. And I see more and more of you enjoying it as well. So please share, rate, review. Thank you. As always, if you're new to the podcast, remember to subscribe. That's the most important thing that you can do. You stopping by, you listening, whatever's happening, subscribe. All right. Click that button. If you're enjoying the videos, hit the like buttons, do all of those things, make friends in the comments. And of course, keep coming. Keep coming back. I'm going to keep coming back every week. We keep doing that. It's a nice, awesome, fair trade. I love it. And I appreciate and love all of you out there for helping me continue this to keep happening. And then if you are looking to get more involved with the podcast, TALKIN with Topher at gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher at gmail.com. Remember, slow down in the subject line. You get an opportunity to get some free merch. You can send a 60-second video. Nothing more than that. 60 seconds is perfect. I know you can get a lot out in 60 seconds. And of course, if I hit you back up, we can get more into whatever you wanted to talk about, or just send an email. talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And of course, I'm on social media. Who isn't today? I try to be on there. I try to be on there, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook every week, almost all week, trying to give you content throughout the week. And I just greatly appreciate all of you. Give a follow, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Facebook. And don't forget, the 5-day water fast will be happening. That's right, May 3rd to May 7th. No food, just water. We'll get more in detail as we get closer to it, but I just want to give everybody the opportunity. If you want to join me and add some discipline and reset your gut and, just do something healthy for yourself. I know it's not eating, but it is healthy for you. So let's do it. Let's get into it. I hope everybody out there has an amazing Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, I will talk to you later. I'll talk to you later.